Hi everyone, welcome back to Cheesy Thumbprints. My name is Kevin, and in today's time slot, I would like to share with you my latest Blu-ray haul, which came just about the last quarter of 2025, just before Christmas. I will admit to you, I do have a birthday in December, so that means that I try to maximize my physical media purchases as much as possible through gifts and that sort of thing. So thank you for joining me. And at the very end of this video, I would like to talk about one of the issues I had with a 4K Blu-ray that I had got for the family for Christmas. It wasn't major, but I was able to solve it, and I may be able to give you some solutions. I'll leave that to the later part of the video. Okay, so at the very first, as you may see in the background, I have a freeze frame of a scene from Space 1999. And if you follow my channel, you're going to learn sooner or later that I'm a huge fan of Space 1999. So what I did get, I think it was for Christmas and not my birthday, but they're so close that it's hard for me to remember. And I will start off with this collection. I always had the complete Space 1999 collection, and I still do, on DVD. And that's those volumes, those volumes, forget, A&E put them out or something. And there was 2 discs, and I think I shared it on this program before. So my family and I would share that with my younger family when we would watch it, sort of thing. And what I never did get, then later on, they made available, as you do know, the very first season, very first series of Space 1999, and they made it available in Blu-ray. And I did get that, but over the years, I waited for the second season to come out in Blu-ray, and it never did. And then eventually, I think this is Shout Factory, is it not? I finally got, let's see, it's showing from ITV, but that's the channel. I did get this. Now, I am a Canadian, and I got this for Christmas. It was one of my main gifts. And I finally now have all series or seasons on Blu-ray. This is the year 1, what it looks like, the cover. And inside you have your discs, like this. And right now I am playing an episode called The A.B. Chrysalis from series from season 2. And I just paused it so I could do this video, because I didn't want to get into any kind of copyright issues with the video. Very cool. And yeah, I believe it is Shout Factory, isn't it? Sure. Let's see if I get my glasses on here. Help you out. But you can recognize the box set. The box set was around $99 or less. Yeah, Shout Factory, who now deal exclusively through Groove, I believe, groove.com. And there is a Canadian version of Groove too, although they do not have as much a selection as the American one. So we have the 2 discs, and you also have bonus features. Now, I haven't got to the bonus features yet, but these are special features included. All right. Now, I caught just in time a special deal with I bought this right straight from Jerry Anderson. I didn't get it off Amazon. I try not to buy off of Amazon if I can, and try to spread the love to other companies, because if we put all of our eggs in one basket and we lose the basket, then what happens? So they did include this I think it's 3 albums. Yeah, 3 albums in there called The Trip to Marineville, and they're 33 RPM vinyls based on I think it's the show Stingray, which to be honest, I have never seen. Jerry Anderson does Space 1999, but I never did see a lot of this episode, this series. So that's what I think it's from the series Stingray. Kind of cool, if you're into the puppets and and the spaceships, which were really, really well done. Right off the top, I did get a 4K Blu-ray for the family to watch. We do have a projector screen, and I have a belief that using Blu-ray, it's not a high definition, not a 4K projector, as I said in another video, but I do have this belief that the better definition I can get, the better it's going to look on the screen. It is 1080, and the screen is big. It's a big, projector screen. But I did get this, and it was fun to watch. We did get a chance to see it in a very, very clear, sharp images, and the colors brilliant. And I do have a DVD collection of this. Oh yeah, and it does come as well with the Blu-ray. That's towards at the very end of the video. I'm going to get into these cases and the issue I have with these cases. But for now, we'll move right along. So some of these Blu-rays came from, like I say, into November, December, just before Christmas, things I had bought on sale and hope to watch. One of these I haven't. It was the 50th anniversary. I think I got this one from Groove Entertainment. I think so, and it's Fahrenheit 451. If you're into movies from the 60s, if you're also into what the movie's all about, about freedom of speech and that sort of thing, then this makes a great addition to your Blu-ray collection. I have to say, I really am more favoring Blu-rays over DVDs, but DVDs are pretty good high quality, and they do often, if you can get a pretty good DVD copy of something that will look really clear. So I'm not going to knock it if you're into DVDs, and sometimes Blu-rays tend to be a little more expensive, sometimes not. I think I got that for a really good deal. Another one I got for quite cheap, and you may have seen this yourself, is it's a DVD Blu-ray combo pack, and it's Night of the Comet. Do you remember that 80s movie? To be honest, I may have only seen it once back in the day, but it was a good, fun movie to watch. Takes you back to the 80s, gives you that feel, the hair and the and all the hairstyles and the clothes they wore and all that fun stuff. Okay, now this was expressly a birthday present from me, which I had ordered also as well from Jerry Anderson. This, I believe, oh wait, maybe I made a mistake. I'm sorry. The Space 1999 did come from Amazon because I really couldn't find it at that price anywhere else. But I did buy this from Jerry Anderson, and I do try not to buy so much from Amazon if I can. Now, this is The Day After Tomorrow. I never saw it back in the day, from 1976, I believe, and it has Nick Tate in it, and it has Brian Blessed. And it is similar to the storyline of Space 1999, as I've covered before. And it was with this, it was purchasing this from Jerry Anderson UK website that I had the option of getting these free. I mean, you could pick these up and purchase them, on your own, separately. But it was part of the deal, and I said, I just checked, yeah, why not? Maybe I'll get around to listening to them, and maybe it'll take a while. So another favorite of mine that I picked up in the month of December was this one, a Blu-ray, The Land Unknown. Now, Blu-rays do have the advantage of being just a little bit slimmer. I know it doesn't make a huge difference if you have a lot of physical media, but they are a little bit slimmer, and the case is a little slimmer than DVD cases. And the quality, if you go to Blu-ray.com, or I think Blu-ray Beaver or something like that, and you check out the reviews, and they'll give you an idea how well the audio is. I think it's 5 stars or something, 4 out of 5. Usually it's if it's a good Blu-ray, it'll be 4 out of 5 stars for the video, and possibly 4 stars for the audio. And there'll be some commentary there as well to help you. This is I think it's 1950s, or is it early 1960s? Might be an early 1960s movie. It's kind of cool. It's about where they in a helicopter and they get lost on I think it's kind of a military helicopter, if I remember right. And they do get lost in the, I think it's the Arctic or Antarctic. And kind of, those things aren't really the main details of the movie, but it's cool. And it's a little cheesy because the dinosaurs in it, from that time period, they're kind of one dinosaur is actually someone in a suit, and you can tell. But overall, it's pretty cool. It takes you back, and it's nice to see this attempt at living a sort of lost world kind of genre, you know. And it's cool. They get stranded, as you can see that little helicopter there by my thumb. They get stranded, and they have to find their way out of this area. Hope this isn't a spoiler, but they have to land in the Arctic, and there's this hidden place where it's much more warmer and heated by whatever the Earth's lava or something, and there's still this prehistoric world existing. So the concept is really cool. I'd like to see that redone again. That would be neat. I picked this up. I didn't get a chance to watch with it. My son, one of my sons and I are huge fans. Well, the other one is too. We've got two sons, and huge fans of the Battlestar Galactica, whether it's the original or, you know, from the 1978, 79, or the 2004, 2005 Battlestar Galactica. And now this one was put out as sort of I think this one deals with the time period before Battlestar Galactica 2004 or 5. And there's another one too. This is Blood and Chrome. And there's one called Razor that fills in. It's kind of an extension of one of the shows and fills in this time gap between two different seasons anyways. It's kind of cool. Now, on a more down-to-earth topic or whatever, this is one of my favorite movies. It's a long movie. It's called Spartacus. It starred Kirk Douglas. I do believe Tony Curtis was in it as well. I got that on 4K, and does this include? Yes. I really tend to buy the 4Ks only if they're in really good price. These $40 and $50 4Ks, man, I would have to be a really devoted fan of that movie to just spend that much on just getting the 4Ks. Because as you know, some players will freeze, and so it's just, I don't know. I don't know if they've really worked out, you know, that this is to me pushing it to the limit, the 4K. But having a Blu-ray copy, you're still getting really clear picture and detail, and it sometimes plays a little better. Now, 4K has an advantage of being super high definition, ultra high definition, because it's meant to. And if you have the proper player and the proper screen to watch it on, yes, you're going to see it better. But I do find that, I don't know, I kind of feel, I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like I can't really, when I'm watching a 4K for the first time, a particular disc, I almost have this kind of cringy feeling, this is going to freeze on me. In any moment, it's going to stop. So far, that's only happened, I think, a couple times. One was, I believe it was Blade Runner 2049 where that happened, and I'm not sure if that was a Blu-ray issue, but I mean the 4K player issue or what. But anyway, we'll move right along. Another one I want to see, my son ended up seeing it. I bought it because I thought we could watch it together, but then he said, I've already seen it, but he'd watch it again with me. And it's Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike, West Study? Can't remember. Blu-ray and also a digital copy. So, but you know, when you see digital copy, usually by the time you get it, it's no longer valid or something. So, or the card is expired, and but Blu-ray, like I said, Blu-ray is good, and I'm looking forward to that Western. It's supposed to be really well done. It's one of the best films of the year, it said at the time, and yeah. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to it. Do like it, and we're in an age now where Westerns aren't maybe as popular as they used to be. I think we go in cycles, and it kind of depends on the way the public feels about Westerns. But I always have a special place for Westerns in my heart, even though I'm a huge sci-fi fan. When I was younger, I watched a lot of John Wayne movies, Jimmy Stewart, Randolph Scott, you name it. I love the old Westerns. There's just something about them you can't replace, and there's nothing like being inside, especially on a nasty winter day, and watching the warm, bright colors of the desert or whatever, or these towns that involve Westerns. Anyway, move right along. We have another one I picked up and I have not seen yet, and I'm going to do sort of a review sometime of the Film Masters Blu-ray, and I got this newly restored version of Monster from the Ocean Floor. Now, I've never seen this one. I have seen other movies, but they've been doing newly restored 4K scans of them from the original 35 millimeter camera negative. And there's other ones I have got, so I thought I'll just save this until I get them all together and we just can kind of have a little talk about them and see how they go. And I'll get back to you and kind of let you know. But I have a special place for Roger Corman as well, because he made some really good fun movies. So lastly, I believe, is I wanted to talk about the issue of, here's just one little thing. This channel is also about not just physical media, but sometimes it's about collectibles too. So, like toys and action figures. So this, I bought at Amazon because I read somewhere in the States it was going sort of out of stock real fast. And, when that happens and it sometimes comes back in, it's really expensive. So right now in Canada, this was quite expensive. And at the time, and they also said for 2026, I believe, this year, they are going to bring out the Viper as an ornament. So I thought, well, gee, I'm hoping I can get my hands on that Viper from Battlestar Galactica. So I thought I would just invest in this little ornament. So I'll give you a quick little show of what it's like. This is a commercial, I guess. Bear with me. If you're a fan of the original Battlestar Galactica, you're going to like this. It's in a plastic shell. And then they have it wrapped like this. And it's kind of neat. I probably spent like $35 for it, but very detailed, as you can tell, even on the bottom. And there's nothing there except the little, where are we? Just like in the movies. There's just a little place that you can hang the hook on the Christmas tree. So that's the only thing that's sort of takes it away from its genuine design. But I think those little hooks, if you can actually unscrew those little hooks, but don't quote me. Okay. I'm going to include in this video, hopefully, some stills. And you're going to get to see some stills of what happened. I was a little disappointed. It was Christmas Eve, and I've been saving. I bought these two items, and I've been saving them for Christmas Eve, and we were going to watch them on the big screen. And we did get to watch them on the big screen, the big projector screen. And it was fun. It was great. But, okay, I can't remember which one it was now. I think they both had a little bit of what we call, it has a nice slip cover. You see, it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 1966. Boris Karloff narrating. Max the dog. And this is one of my pet peeves with these. It seems to happen more with these black cases. But this one, when I opened it up, I had just a little bit. You can't see it here because I've cleaned this. And I've cleaned the disc. The disc was fine. But a little bit of what I believe from my research is that some of the gases start to break down. It starts to off-gas, a kind of oil. And what happens is it gets on the disc, gets on the case, and it's gross. And when you start paying $20, $30, $40 for 4Ks, and you're getting a mess. And I'm not pointing at any particular distributor because it seems to be the fault of the manufacturer, or as someone suggested, maybe you know the answer. If you do, just put it down in the comments. And by the way, like and subscribe if you want to hear more from this channel. Someone has said that just because you have a black case from one place and a black, they're both in the same black case, like this one here, it doesn't mean this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We did get to see that Christmas Eve night too on the big screen, but it all kind of skipped at the beginning because when I opened this sucker up, it was greasier than if you had taken it to. I'm gonna insert some photos here, but it was so greasy and all of this, crap was on the case itself and also on the disc. Now you're going to see some clarity. You see it looks just a little bit kind of like there's a little bit of residue or something on there, just a little foggy looking, that's from where I cleaned it. But I will tell you what my technique is for cleaning it, and I'll tell you right now. How's that sound? So what I do, and it seems that it works for me, I can't guarantee this, don't take my word for it, you can do your own research. It still looks fairly clean, both of them, but both of them were really dirty. And what I do is, okay, step by step, I take the disc usually into our nearest sink, a water source. And what I have, as you will see in the photos, I have a spray bottle, just a water spray bottle, that has a couple drops or a drop of dish detergent, mild dish detergent in that water. And once it's all, you shake it up, whatever. So what I do is, now some people will say don't do this because you want something that's lint free. Lint free is fine, but it's not very absorbent, I found. So here's what I do. What I do is I usually run a little water over just the silver part of the disc, just cool water, not warm, not too cold, not too hot. And then I spray some of the, I'll call it the soapy water, I spray it on the surface of the DVD or the Blu-ray, whatever, even the 4K. I let it set there for about 5 seconds. And then I take a very good quality, non-scented paper towel. Now, this is a part where you may say, don't do that because there's fibers in paper towel. Yes, but they usually dry, and you can just take a very soft brush and brush them off, or, an air compressor, whatever. And never do anything harsh, whether it's compressed air or whatever. You never do anything harsh, or you never rub hard or anything like that. So then what I do is, with that soapy water on there, I take a almost soaked piece of paper towel, and then I wipe from the center out of the disc, of the shiny part of the disc, and I wipe from the center out, just perpendicular, I guess you'd say, right angles. You never go like in concentric circles around like this, because it'll wear down the supposed grooves. This is what I've found in my research and done over the years. And so what you do is you just clean out from the center to the end with this water, just water soaked paper towel. And then you just sort of take a dry piece of paper towel and you lightly feather it again in the same direction to pick up that water and get as much off without rubbing harshly or putting much pressure. And then what I do is I have a couple pieces of paper towel laying down on a flat surface, and just to make sure that there's no more water or anything left. Oh yeah, you can also, after you're done that, you can also kind of rinse if you want. Like, did I mention that? You put the soap on, you do the wiping with the wet cloth, and then you rinse that off under cold water again. You try not to get it in the center very much, or on the edges. You don't really want water on the edges or any of the edges, because in time moisture could possibly get into the layers. Probably not, but I just don't want to take the chance. So when I set it on a flat surface on top of paper towel, it's to get any little bit in that ring. I'll take my finger and I'll push down in that little ring. If there's any water in there whatsoever, I mean, if you want to use a hair dryer and you think, well, I'm going to use a hair dryer to dry these things, you must keep it at the disc, hold it firmly and keep it far away. You don't want any high heat onto it, and to do this extra drying. And then I lay it down on you don't have to do that, I don't use the hair dryer, but you lay it down, you lay the disc flat on paper towel, and you put another piece over top, and you let it just sort of absorb and dry like that. And then what you do, you don't just run it back in the case. I wash the cases the same way, and you don't have to. You can when you're washing the case, you can go around circles. You don't have to do it certain ways, because it's just a case, because you don't want that stuff coming back on. I'm not a fan of, you'll see people saying using alcohol to clean discs and plastic, and I tend to think alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, that sort of thing, is a little bit too harsh for plastics. But I'm not an expert at cleaning a disc, but this has worked for me, and I've not had problems, at least within the span of years. I don't know if a little tiny bit of film of soap that might not have got washed off or is left on as residue that you can't see. And we're talking a drop of soap to the water, just enough to break that stuff up. and carry it off, because I believe it's an oily base, so you kind of need a bit of a detergent. That's the way I'm looking at it. But yeah, it's worked for me, and at least within a decade, I haven't seen anything deteriorate or affect the playing of a disc. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, I don't know. So you do that, you let them both air dry really, really well. You can flip them over, you can fold the paper towel so it's on top, put a little something light on top of it just to keep pressure down, then open it up, let them air dry, flip them over, let them air dry. And when you know there's completely dry, and if you've got one of those, I should have brought it, a little something you can clean off, like a projector or camera lens. It's got this little feathery hairs on the end of it with a little bit of wind in it. You could squeeze it and it makes a little bit of air. You can just take that, and going in the same direction from the center out, you can just blow off any what you could see to be lint. That has worked for me. I hope it works for you. Anyways, this was mostly about, and the good news is, even without doing that, there was a brief skip in the Rudolph disc. There was a brief skip because of that original dirt or grime that was on there. But it is a shame, isn't it? We pay good money for these things, and it's hard to take the fact that you might spend $30 and up on something, and then you open it up and you see these off-gassed, oily, greasy disc, and it kind of makes you cringe. So that's what I've done. You could send it back and they could send you another one, but the same one could happen to the other one. I'm not sure too. I suspect maybe it has something to do with temperature, maybe where it was stored in maybe warmer temperatures. I don't know. But for some reason, some black plastic cases will actually off-gas this stuff, and it may even come in other plastics as well, but I find the black plastic to be the worst. Anyways, we did have fun, and we did get to see it, and it was great. After that initial, it was just a little skip there somewhere at the very beginning, and the 4K player, I have a Sony. It did an amazing job to be able to read through all that stuff that was on there, because I didn't take the time Christmas Eve to clean it. I waited till later. And okay, so if you have any questions, like I say, like and subscribe. I think that's all we have for today. That is my haul for late 2025. And I'm wishing you all a good year ahead. And we'll see you in the next video. And thanks for watching. See you in the movies.